up, YouTube? How's it going? So I get asked this question quite a bit, usually by family. You're a Republican? Not quite. I'm not quite a Republican. But you act like one. Well, if they did the research, then they probably act like one too and realized that they were acting like them. But basically, this is going to be kind of the story of why I switched my voting habits. I used to vote strictly Democrat from the time I was 18 up until, say, 2012. I'll get to what happened in 2008. Long story short, I didn't vote in 2008. I'll get to that too. But, typical black kid, I grew up, I discussed this before as well, I grew up hating white people because I was told that white people were the scum of the earth. That they would hate me for the color of my skin. They'd spit in my food, talk about me behind my back. They want to hold me down and hold me back. They don't want to see me make it. It's what I was told, what I was taught. So I grew up hating white people, being extremely cautious of them. Didn't trust them, well into adulthood. Anyways, the thing was, if you black, you vote Democrat. No questions asked, didn't research it, that's just what I do. The election come around, go vote, but them evil, stingy Republicans gonna get your vote. They don't want to share. That's what I was told. So, I figured, well, why are we voting Democrat? And nobody could ever give me a straight answer. It was still the same old shit. No matter who I asked, it was the same bullshit. Well, you black, you supposed to vote Democrat. Well, my mama vote Democrat, so I vote Democrat. Same sad shit every time. No straight answers, no explanation. And me, you know me, I don't like being the sheep. Just following the crowd, following the herd. I was also closer, I was more in my Bible at the time. And the Bible warned about being a sheep. It warned you about blindly following people. Which is exactly what I was doing by voting Democrat. Just blindly following the other black people. Blindly following them. Nobody give me a straight answer. Don't matter. I'm black and I'm supposed to hate white people. So eventually, I got out the house. Well, I didn't say get out the house. I became an adult, still stuck at the house, not knowing how to make it, trying other avenues and things like that, holding different jobs here and there. Never was around white people, and one thing that I tried out led me to some white people. And the guy name was Adrian Edelman. Love that guy. Wish he was still here in Texas. Hate that he left. But he had some important things to take care of. I understand that. But unlike what I was told, these people, him and his wife, they were two of the most encouraging people that I've ever met, two of the nicest people that I've ever met, two of the most influential people in my life that I've ever met, positive. And they weren't doing anything to hold me back or to make me feel uncomfortable or to put me down and talking crap behind my back. As a matter of fact, one of the first things that they did, without even knowing me very well, we were in a conversation like, well, my parents have this 1985 Jaguar, no, 86. And it's not running right. And he said, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that. Let me see if I can do his voice. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. My wife and I, we have one. We have an 85 model. It's not the best running in the world, but we were just going to get rid of it. If you guys would like, I mean, it runs and everything. It'll probably get you to and from for a few months. You guys can have it. Gave me the car. We got the car home. He took care of the title transfer and everything. We got the car home. We got it fired up. And it ran better than the one that we had. And that car ran, not for a few months. That car ran for some years. It ran for a long time. Eventually the transmission went out after like 7 years or so. And unfortunately, the mechanic we took it to, his boss was into the shipping business. His boss, black guy, instead of fixing the transmission in the car, he shipped it off to Africa, said he didn't know where the car was at. Anyway, the court ordered him to give us another Jaguar, same color, same year. We got that at the house now. But it runs like crap compared to the one that Adrian gave us. And again, these are people that didn't even know me very well. White people, good people. And just out of the blue, well, we're throwing this car away here. Like I said, one of the most positive, if not the most positive person that I've ever met in my life. One of the most influential people. Anyways, that got me to thinking. Okay, well, I've been around other white people besides him, and they all seem nice compared to my own damn people. They all treat me well. Something's not adding up. These people are supposed to hate me. I'm being lied to somewhere. I'm being deceived somewhere. So now we're going to have to figure out why. Because it seems like every time I meet white people, they're always nice to me. As a matter of fact, going back to elementary, Miss Herrera, which was my kindergarten teacher, and Miss Kelly, my second grade teacher, those are two of the nicest teachers I ever had in my life. The rest of them mean black ass women, they're just mean as hell. Mean as hell. Boy, you missed an answer. Wow, right in the hand. They didn't give a damn. And that was some just small stuff that kind of stuck with me, that kept questions in my head. So, back to this whole Democrat thing. Why am I still being the sheep? Why am I following these other black people who are saying that this is my party, that's what I'm supposed to do, these are the people I'm supposed to vote for, but yet we still poor, we still so-called oppressed, and everything, all that's going on. 2006 comes up, and a black guy who was in politics was kind of like in a panic mode, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? 2008, that's supposed to be this Kenyan guy running, supposed to act like he black, but he's got communist ties. I didn't know what a communist was. And he was like, don't get caught up in your feelings because he share your skin color. And to me, you know, my black pride, like, well, he black, I'm gonna vote for him. Which was what he was warning us about. Well, time went on. I totally forgot about it. Happened to flip it on talk radio in 2008. Heard Walton and Johnson. And they were talking about this black guy running for president. And he was running, of course, as a Democrat. Okay, well, that's interesting. Who is this black guy and why do they keep hating on him? Maybe they're just making all this stuff up because they don't want a black guy in the White House. So eventually he wins, and I'm listening to talk radio. I didn't vote for him because I'm like, well, it'd be neat if we did have the first black president, but what if somebody assassinated him? Again, old school black thinking, sheep thinking. And I didn't know nothing about the Republican Party at all. Because I've just always been told they were just evil white people. And of course, there was an old ass white man running as the Republican. So, of course, I wasn't going to vote for him either. So I didn't vote. But Barack gets in there. And I had been listening to talk radio about all the stuff that was going to happen when Barack got in. How the news was going to call him and say, you know, he was basically the Messiah. You know, how they would cover his tracks and everything. And one of the first examples of that is when they were talking about Barack having an extra girlfriend, and him and Michelle were about to split up before they got in the White House. About 3 days after that story broke, it was never heard from again. You couldn't find any clips of it or anything. It was done. I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. But I'm getting a whole different story, you know. The news just dropped it, basically. But the radio kept up with it. And a whole bunch of other things started happening. And I'm watching the TV news. And I'm also listening to the radio and getting two contradictory stories. Two separate stories. So the only thing I can do is just watch what happens over time. The news was talking about how peachy everything was, how unemployment was down and everything, and how great everything was. On the other hand, I'm out here working every day, and I'm watching the stuff on the radio actually come true. He said he wasn't going to increase taxes, but this is what's going to happen. And I'll be damned if months later, what the radio said was going to happen, this, you know, started happening gradually. And so, after his first 4 years of getting in there, I'm still not really knowing the difference between Democrat and Republican Party at the time. I know this is a loan, just stick with me, it all makes sense. But I'm not knowing the difference between the parties at all, except if you're black, vote Democrat. But at the same time, the news is, you know, they're telling me, the news is telling me how peachy things are, and the radio is telling me a whole different story. And what the radio is telling me, all that stuff is actually happening to me, and I'm watching it fold out. And I can think back about some things that happened months ago that they said, and I watch it come true over time. Like, holy crap, we're getting lied to somewhere. TV is lying to us. They're not. Hey, Mom, did they cover this here on the news tonight about Barack such and such? Nope, haven't heard a word about it. And then months later, it happened. And we had like a big old fallout debate behind it. Like, right, you don't like the president. My dad was pissed. But Dad, hadn't you been watching, seeing what's going on? I ain't heard nothing. You coming up with all this stuff here. What, you listening to Rush Limbaugh? Well, actually, I wasn't listening to Rush Limbaugh at the time because I heard he was racist. Being a sheep. Again, following him. And then I started listening to Rush and watching what he was saying happen, play out in my life. So, yeah. That prompted me to start asking more questions. Why the hell are we voting Democrat? Why? I didn't have the answer at all. So I decided, this is 13 minutes until, so I'm going to have to put that down in the description box. I decided to go ahead and stop being lazy and research the parties. Democrat Party. One of the first things that popped up was that the Democratic Party was the party that was for slavery. So, a bunch of black people who was always told, vote Democrat because you're black, are voting for the same exact party that wanted to keep slavery alive. Okay, what else about this Democrat Party don't I know? The Democrat Party created the KKK in retaliation for the Republicans freeing the slaves. Hey, wait a minute. First time I ever heard that before. The Republicans are the ones who freed the slaves? Now I need to start researching the Republican Party. Holy crap. So while continuing to research the Democrat Party, learning that they wanted to keep us as slaves, and that they are the ones who created the KKK, that brought more and more questions. Why the hell are we voting Democrat? If this is true, why are we voting Democrat? I also was reading that the Democrat Party was the ones who were who created and were enforcing the Jim Crow laws. Those are the segregation laws. Like, nigger, you take that bathroom over there in the fire hydrant behind the building, that's what you drink out of, boy. And the Republicans fought against it. Didn't know all of that until I read it. But that still didn't answer my question. Why are black people voting Democrat? Did the party change or something? Was there some kind of change that I didn't know about? So that prompted more research. And that, got me to start looking at the civil rights era. Because I read a statement saying that before the civil rights era, most black people voted Republican. But wait, if the Republican Party is the party for white people, why they voting Republican? Well, the Republican Party did free the slaves, so maybe they felt like they owed the party. But during the civil rights era and the Jim Crow laws, this is where everything kind of comes together, comes to a head. Republicans voted against that bullshit. They voted against the Jim Crow laws. Democrats voted for it and enforced it firmly. Hanging us, torturing us, beating us, shooting us, killing us. That was the Democrats doing that. You got the iconic scene in the movie where we're sprayed down with the fire hoses and the dogs are biting us. That was Democrat senators in charge of that as well. And what ended up happening, black people started voting Democrat in the civil rights era because in the South, Democratic Party was not getting a lot of black votes. As a matter of fact, another fact that I found out was that Martin Luther King, which shocked me, Martin Luther King, MLK, who we celebrate every year, his birthday, and the shit that he done. Martin Luther King was a damn Republican. Frederick Douglass, George Washington Carver, and a whole bunch of more black people that we were supposed to be taught about in school. We were never taught about that though. Never. But yeah, during the civil rights era, the South needed black votes. Because black people wasn't having it. They wasn't voting Democrat. So along with Lyndon B. Johnson, who was, finna get ready to have JFK assassinated, he and the KKK got together, and a whole bunch of other people who needed the vote, who needed the power. The Democrat Party, they got together, and there were a lot of Klan members who disrobed, went out in public and ran as senators. Robert Byrd was one of them. Robert Byrd was also, he happened to be Grand Wizard of the KKK for 12 years. Hillary Clinton said that Robert Byrd was her mentor. Let that be a lesson to you. And that ain't the only person. So they went out and they did their get out to vote thing, telling black people who mostly at the time could not read, could not write, we were uneducated, and they went out and they got the black vote. Look here, boy, them Republicans, them evil Republicans, they the ones holding you back. So you need to vote Democrat. That's what they were doing. That's what the Klan was doing. That's what the Democrat Party was doing. The same party, again, who was for keeping us as slaves, who voted to keep the Jim Crow laws. Now, Lyndon B. didn't come into power until JFK was assassinated. If JFK ran for president today, he'd probably be conservative. A big government conservative, but a conservative nonetheless. Now, this didn't help with the perception that it was always the Republican Party voting to help black people, because JFK was trying to expand the government. Now, when JFK expanded the government, he was going to expand these welfare programs. Now, I'm not saying that at that particular time it was a bad thing, because black people did need some help, and maybe the government did need some expanding. But, you know, hey, this man here, he's a Democrat. He's going to expand the programs to help y'all black people, and he's Democrat. And so, you know, hey, JFK, nice enough guy. Doesn't seem like the racist type. Trying to help us black people by opening the government up. That's right, these white people telling us the government holding us back, that the Republicans are doing it. And so, bam, black vote been there. Now, JFK's assassination had to do with him ending the war, among other things. And you can look up the James Files interview on that there. It gets real deep. Actually, James Files was the trigger man. So, pretty neat, huh? Didn't come here to learn that, but yeah, it all ties in together. Anyways, he was assassinated. Lyndon B. gets in there. His plan's already at work, and he's on record for saying, I have these niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and we've been doing it for more than 50 so far. So I start taking a more stronger look, because this is some serious shit going on. Like, really? This is the party I've been voting for? Now, I've been told that white people hate me, but apparently I've been voting for the particular white people that do hate me, and against the particular white people who's supposed to be helping us out, who have been the ones, god damn, that was a big bump, but then voting against the ones who have been helping black people out. I've been voting against the Republicans this whole time. This is a big mistake. I must get the word out. And the word needs to be spread. And so I did my little thing, you know, try to talk to people and let them know. Because that, you know, that's basically the answer right there. Why black people vote Democrat. All of that, like I said, it all ties together. And that perception, you know, that came in. A lot of our folks during the Civil Rights era changed with what was going on with JFK. Also changed with the Klan and their get out to vote plan. And, you know, when the government somewhat expanded, black people weren't the beneficiaries of it. They benefited from it. And they got that perception in. Hey, we black, we vote Democrat. Look what they did for us. And we've been doing it ever since. And we've been government dependent ever since. And it's easy to get dependent on the government. It's easy for me right now to quit my job and just live on the government. After making $32,000 last year and paying $5,000 in taxes, it's very easy for me just to quit and just live on the government, but I'm not going to do it, because that's basically slavery. So we've been voting Democrat for over 50 years, and I figured, well, you know what, this party did this to my people, can't vote for them. Nope, sorry. So where did that leave me? That led me to the Republican Party. And that's how I started voting. Because I kept wondering, well, if the Democrats are so bad, why are there I mean, if the Republicans are so bad, why are they black Republicans? Well, shoot, finding out Martin Luther King, one of the most influential men in America, despite his past, but one of the most influential men in America, finding out that he was Republican, and that was like a slap in the face. We were never taught that in school. Never taught that. Hang on. Alright, so back to my topic. Had to pause it there. Now, a lot of people are never going to be told any of that information unless you go and dig it up. We were never taught it in school. Our parents and grandparents couldn't tell it because, hell, they couldn't read back when they was voting anyway. They were just told to do it. And yes, at that time, they did get some benefits of it. Now, a lot of people are going out and voting now, and they never had a job before 2008. I was blessed to have a job before 2008 to actually watch things unfold as they have unfolded so far. And under the first 4 years of Obama, I watched my paycheck at $10 an hour go from averaging $8.20 to $8.40 on a good week. Well, good 2 weeks, because that's every 2 weeks. I watched my check over the first 4 years decrease to $690. News told us taxes is going to be lower, and that the tax cuts for the rich wouldn't affect me if it expired. So Barack was doing a good thing, making the rich pay their fair share. Well, I'll be down if over the first 4 years, me, a person making $10 an hour, if my paycheck didn't go down to $690 every 2 weeks. So, yeah. I watched that happen. That happened to me. During that time, I had got married, got into a lower tax bracket, and I had children. Had a child. So, my taxes should have been lower. So everything wasn't peachy. I'm actually watching stuff happen to my money. I'm watching what's happening to my money. And I'm watching the news, which I've already, at that particular time, figured the news was lying to me. Just through living life, continuing to live life, keep my ears open, listening to the news, TV news, and then turning to the radio. And the radio telling me what's really going on. And I'm seeing the changes happen. 2012 comes along, and I figured, well, I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I'm voting Romney, even though I didn't care for Romney. But that was the thing. I was going to vote, properly that particular time. And I did, and Romney lost. And some things were happening that wasn't being reported on TV news, like the machines. Now, there were people calling the radio saying, look, I was trying to put the machine on Romney, and it kept going back to Barack. I let the pollers know what was happening, and they didn't seem to care. There were dead people voting for Barack. None of that stuff was being reported on TV. Now, social media ended up getting the message kind of twisted, saying that the machines, people were voting for Barack and it was going to Romney, but it was actually the other way around. But that's too late to bitch and complain about now, because this cocksucker's almost out of office. But yeah, guess I answered everything so far. Why I vote Republican, why I changed my vote. All of that. Did my research on the party. I know about their origins. I know what they're doing. Know what they've done. Know what they're doing now. Know what the party stands for. I know what the Republican Party stood for. And so I refuse to vote for those particular people that don't have my interest at hand. Speaking of people that don't have your interest in hand, I really don't want to complicate it, so I'm gonna try not to complicate it here in these next few seconds, but unfortunately, since the Republicans have got into power lately, they haven't been doing their job. They got the House and Senate, and they caved. So the term establishment has been getting thrown around recently, and you have to kind of differentiate the Republicans, because there are two types. You got the establishment Republicans, and you got people who are just your everyday working people like me and you. The establishment Republican, when they say that, when you hear those terms, even though establishment sound like it's good because they've been there for a long time, the establishment Republicans are the Republicans of greed, basically. These are the guys who are in there like Paul Ryan, who have nobody's interest in hand but their own. We gave these guys the House and Senate, and they've screwed the American people over by implementing and supporting the Democrat Party and their objectives. Now, I've been keeping up with this politics stuff basically since 2008. It's 2016 now. I'm no super expert in this here, but I've been watching, what the media is doing. Been watching what the RNC is doing. Watching what the DNC is doing. I think I said media already. Watching what they're all doing. And you can agree with me or not. I mean, that's up to you. Democrat Party, as far as black people go, never had any of our interest in hand. It was all control and power. When I say control, they keep us poor, they keep us oppressed, and they help us to kill ourselves. That's what I've been trying to get in there. They help us to keep killing ourselves. How do they help us to keep killing ourselves? They help us to keep killing ourselves through Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood was created during the Civil Rights era, and it made itself look like it was a healthcare type of facility. Margaret Sanger, also on record for saying, she's creating the facility for the sole purpose of eliminating the black population. Even right now, today, most Planned Parenthood facilities are located in black areas. In fact, I believe it's over 90%. And all it is an abortion factory for profit. We also found out that Planned Parenthood sells those body parts for profit. Planned Parenthood has been backed over the years by the Democratic Party. By the way, Margaret Sanger is also another person that Hillary Clinton literally is on record, and you can go find a YouTube clip somewhere, a video clip somewhere, of saying that that was one of her mentors. Another lesson, another warning. So the Democrat Party has been keeping us poor. They've been giving us what they want to eat, what they want us to eat, how much money they want us to have, yada, yada, yada. Hang on. Got an order coming. They've been controlling us. They've been killing us. Helping us to kill ourselves. And then you got the Republican Party, who I recently just found out used to be for black people. We've got that party right now who gave the House and Senate, and they're not doing anything with it. They're not doing anything but implementing Democrat policies which hurt us. So it is up to us, all Americans, to get rid of these establishment Republicans and get some real people back in there. Now, I would, talk about supporting the Libertarian Party. It would be nice, but let's just be real. Unfortunately, the two-party system's been around far too damn long to throw another party in there and expect it to gain any traction. Just be real about it. Libertarians take good from both sides. Okay, but you don't blindly just follow one party either. So that's why I can't say that I am a full Republican, because I'm not. I'm not a Democrat, but I'll be damned if I ever vote Democrat. Democrats have been killing black people since the 1800s, and they're continuing to do so today. So who am I voting for? I'm voting for Trump. Don't like it? Go with. He's the nominee. One thing that's interesting about Trump is when he got on stage and he told those white people, those rich oil guys, the same type of people that wanted JFK eliminated. When he got there on stage and he told those people, I don't want your money. I'm watching. Hold on. Alright, got my orders there and forgot what I was saying, but you got two parties that are trying to destroy one guy. For me, in my gut instinct, that's telling me to vote that way. Because never have we had the Republican Party to try to destroy its own nominee, along with the Democrats, along with the media, who, by the way, the DNC, the Democrats, have contacted the media, told them what to say, told them to destroy the Republican Party, it didn't matter who the nominee was, destroy him. That was in the email. That was in the WikiLeaks leaks. That was in emails. So, no matter who the nominee would have been, whether it been Trump or Bush, damn, I'm glad it ain't Bush, whether it been Cruz, Carson, any of those, they would have been accused of basically the same thing. And before I load up here, David Duke recently endorsed Trump, and they made a big deal about it. Now, David Duke, like he said, he makes no bones about it. He has a shattered past, and his baggage does help hold him back. But because somebody likes you doesn't mean that you're affiliated with them. Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, straight up said that Robert Byrd, Grand Wizard of the KKK, former member for 12 years, was one of her mentors. She also went out and said that Margaret Sanger, who wanted to eliminate the black race, was one of her mentors. This is what out of Hillary Clinton's mouth. Do your research, people. November's approaching. Have a good one.